The Champions League is well underway this season and the first few games have been so exciting so far. However, now it's time for my match day 4 predictions. And trust me, there's gonna be a lot of upsets in this video because I am bold like that. Anyways, let's start off with the first game, which is between Maccabi Haifa and Juventus. This one's gonna be quick. Why? Well, Maccabi Haifa let that bum Adrien Rabiot score a brace against them. Are you serious? They couldn't even stop Rabiot, so forget about stopping the entirety of Juventus and getting a result from them. This game's an easy 3-0 win for Juventus. I'm so confident about that. Next game is Copenhagen versus Manchester City, and this is also another easy game to predict. The only reason why Haaland did not score a hat-trick against Copenhagen was because he was subbed off at halftime. Not gonna lie, if Guardiola let Haaland play the entire 90 minutes, he would have for sure bagged 5 goals. Anyways, back to the game. Last week, Man City actually beat Copenhagen 5-0. So is there a way for Copenhagen to get a result against Man City in the next game? Yeah, no. And that's why I think Man City is gonna win this game 4-0 with Erling Haaland getting the hat-trick this time. This next game is a good one. It's PSG versus Benfica. Now last week the game ended in a 1-1 draw and the game was pretty even throughout the entirety of it. PSG were slightly more dominant but not by much. Also, both of these clubs are in hot form right now, so it's kinda hard to predict, not gonna lie. However, the X factor in this game is gonna be Lionel Messi. Messi's goal against Benfica last week was mesmerizing, bro. What a shot that was from the GOAT. Also, the fact that his apparent injury isn't serious at all and he should be back in no time means that he will definitely play against Benfica in my opinion. It's also important to note that PSG will be playing at home this time at the Parc des Princes. That's why with home advantage, I think PSG will win this game 2-1 with Messi and Mbappe getting the goals while Neymar will get both of the assists. Alright, next game is low-key a boring one. It's Dynamo Zagreb versus RB Salzburg. Last week, Salzburg won the game 1-0 thanks to a penalty by Noah Okafor late in the second half. However, apart from the penalty, there wasn't much to split the two sides. Therefore, I think this game will be a replica of the previous one and I think it's gonna end 1-1. Moving on, we got Borussia Dortmund versus Sevilla. I've already spoken about how I feel about Sevilla this season. They're hot garbage. Let me remind you, they're in a relegation battle in La Liga right now. They also have 1 point in 3 games in their group in the Champions League. So yeah, things are not looking good for Sevilla right now. Additionally, against Dortmund last week, they got spanked 4-1 at home. So what's gonna happen when they have to play BVB at their home stadium? Yeah, it's not looking too good, bro. However, instead of 4-1 like last time, I'm gonna say Borussia Dortmund will win 4-0. And I think Jude Bellingham will get 2 goals this time in this game. Simple prediction in my eyes. Alright, up next we got a huge game. It's gonna be AC Milan versus Chelsea. Now last week, AC Milan pulled up to England looking fresh, wearing their new off-white collab jacket, looking clean and nice, only to get slapped up by Chelsea 3-0. How you gonna look that fresh just to get destroyed 90 minutes later, bruh? AC Milan, get your priorities straight. Honestly, they were doing so good in the Champions League so far and had the opportunity to make it really hard for Chelsea to progress in the round of 16. Instead, they helped Chelsea go above them in the standings instead. Now, AC Milan literally have no choice but to do good against Chelsea in the next game, or else it's going to be really hard for them to progress to the round of 16. And because of these factors, I think AC Milan will actually show up this time. I think their players will understand how important the next game against Chelsea is and now understand how to play better football without their captain Calabria, who got injured and will be out for a while. So with Dest, his replacement, getting more used to the AC Milan system, I think this will just help them a lot. And also playing in the San Siro in front of their home crowd, I think that's going to be a huge advantage. Now Chelsea isn't a team that's going to be beaten easily. They have good players and a good squad overall. And in fact, they look better under Graham Potter instead of Thomas Tuchel. Therefore, you cannot underestimate them. However, I like upsets and I did say in the beginning of the video that I am bold like that. So I'm going for a 2-1 win for AC Milan. Watch me be right. Alright, moving on, we got Shaktar Donetsk versus Real Madrid. In the last game, Shaktar was actually defeated by Real Madrid 2-1 and both the skillful Brazilians Vini and Rodrigo scored against the Ukrainian side. Now I'm not dumb. I know Shaktar have some really underrated players and they shouldn't be slept on. However, regardless of that, Real Madrid dominated the game and had 36 shots with 14 of them on target. And with these stats, I don't think they're going to be slowed down in the next game even though they're going to be away from home this time. I think the game will go almost exactly in the same way with Real Madrid beating Shaktar 2-1. Up next, we got Celtic versus RB Leipzig and it did not go well for the Scottish club last time. In fact, the game was level and it seemed like Celtic could actually get a result from this game. However, Joe Hart had an absolute stinker and after giving the goal away to Andre Silva, the game was pretty much lost for Celtic. However, if you erase that stupid mistake by Joe Hart, Celtic had a very good chance of getting at least a draw from this game. Now I know Celtic might be last place in their Champions League group, but I think this is too harsh on them. They did well against Real Madrid despite losing 3-0 and had good moments away from home against Shaktar and Leipzig. And now with them being at home in the second half of the group stage, I think their season is going to turn around in the Champions League. Now I know RB Leipzig looked good under Marco Rose, but I think it's too early to call whether Rose is the perfect fit for the job or not and whether these good results will keep coming in. Therefore, I'm going to be bold and I'm going to say Celtic is winning this game 2-1, and this time Kyogo Furuhashi will get on the score sheet. On to the next Champions League day, we got Napoli versus Ajax. This will be a good game, but we got to talk about last week. It did not go well for Ajax. In fact, they lost 6-1 at home. I really want Napoli to drop some points in this Champions League campaign because I want Liverpool to top the group, but it feels impossible, bro, because Napoli are on fire. They're doing so well in Serie A right now, and on top of that, they're still killing in the Champions League, being on top of the group as well. And it seems like almost all of their players are in form, especially the Georgian player Kvaradona. I hope I pronounced that nickname correctly. Anyways, he's such an underrated beast. He's so good and unpredictable and causes a lot of problems to the fullbacks whenever he plays. It's going to be hard for Ajax to even get a result out of this game. Therefore, I have no choice but to back Napoli because they did beat Ajax 6-1 after all. I don't think this win is going to be that big this time. I think it's going to be a 3-1 win for Napoli at home, and I think Kvaradona is going to get a brace in this game as well. Now, Atletico Madrid versus Club Bruges next, and oh boy, Atletico Madrid are in trouble. This is because in their last game, my prediction was correct and Club Bruges beat Atletico Madrid 2-0. And also to everyone's surprise, Club Bruges is absolutely storming through their group, being 6 points ahead of everybody else, while Atletico Madrid are in dead last. They're not even going to qualify for the Europa League at this pace. So yeah, this might be an upset to some people, even though it really shouldn't be. But I got Club Bruges winning this game against Atletico again. The scoreline will be 2-1, so Atletico do get a consolation goal, probably from Griezmann, to be honest. Alright, the next game is between Bayern Leverkusen and FC Porto. It seems like Porto have finally got their Champions League campaign back on track with a 2-0 win over the German side. Obviously, this is thanks to the Iranian forward himself, Mehdi Taremi. So he went straight back to the starting lineup after getting a red card in the first Champions League game against Atletico Madrid, and he came back with a bang because he assisted both of the goals for Porto. It's hard to stop Taremi, man. I don't know if Leverkusen can do it. I know they just hired their new coach Xabi Alonso, but this is his first serious managerial job, so it's going to take time for his principals to settle in with the team. Therefore, because of this, I got Porto winning this game 3-1, even though they're away from home, and this time instead of assisting 2 goals, I got Taremi scoring 2 goals. Now we're moving on to the game that I'm going to be watching. It's Liverpool versus Rangers. It's not been a good last month for Rangers, man. Not only did they get destroyed by their arch rival Celtic 4-0, they're also last place in the Champions League group with 0 points, losing all 3 games. This also means that they lost the previous game to Liverpool 2-0 at Anfield. It seemed like Rangers could not stop that new formation that Liverpool tried out with the 4 attackers being Salah, Jota, Nunez, and Luis Diaz all starting at the same time. However, the one who helped Liverpool win the game the most was Trent Alexander-Arnold, because that stunning free kick set the tone for the rest of the match. Anyways, the next game between these two will be at Ibrox Stadium, so this is going to be a very tense place for Liverpool to play at. Regardless though, I think Liverpool is still going to win this game 1-0 with Luis Diaz getting the goal this time. We got a controversial one next. It's Barcelona versus Inter Milan. The reason why I said it's controversial is because late in the game last time, Barcelona should have gotten a penalty for a Dumfries handball, but the ref and VAR said no. And because of this, Inter Milan got the 1-0 win, which was a crucial 3 points for them. Anyways, it's time for Barcelona to get the revenge, and this time they're going to be playing at their home stadium, the Camp Nou. I think with the extra motivation of getting revenge and also playing in front of your home fans, I think this will help Barcelona push for the win. And I think they'll end up doing it. Therefore, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Barcelona, and Lewandowski will get both of the goals. Moving on, we got Victoria Plzen versus Bayern Munich next. Now, last time I predicted the game to end 7-0 to Bayern, and I was kind of close. The game ended 5-0. So even though I was 2 goals off, it was still a tremendous scoreline for Bayern Munich. Now, even though Bayern is going to be away this time, I don't think it's going to be any different. I still think they're going to comfortably get the win. And that's why I got Bayern Munich winning this game 4-0 with both Jamal Musiala and Leroy Sané getting on the score sheet. Now, next we got a snooze fest of a game, bro. It's Tottenham versus Eintracht Frankfurt. The last game between these two ended 0-0, and my gosh, I feel bad for whoever watched this game. I would have fallen asleep, I'm not going to lie, if I had to watch this. So let's make this boring game quick. I think Tottenham will actually get the win this time with Harry Kane bagging 1 goal, but I think this game is going to be seriously boring, bro. I think there's going to be less than 3 shots on target the entirety of it. Last but not least, we got Sporting versus Marseille. Sporting have finally lost their perfect win record. This is because even after Trincao scored early in the match within like 1 minute, they couldn't stop the floodgate from Marseille with them scoring 4 goals later in the game. I do want to take a second to talk about Alexis Sanchez though, because his revival this season is extremely underrated. He's got 4 goals in 7 games in Ligue 1 and has 1 goal in 2 games in the Champions League. So after disappearing for the longest time, it does seem like Alexis Sanchez has gotten his form back. Great to see this from him, man. For Sporting though, they just didn't look like their usual selves, bro. They look terrible. However, the fact that I think their next game against Marseille will be at home will help them out a lot, because the home fans with their final push helped Sporting get the huge 2-0 win against Tottenham, and I feel like they could probably do the same against Marseille. So although I think Sporting will get a result, I don't think they're going to win the match because I think this is going to be a 2-2 draw. Anyways, let me know down in the comments whether you agree or disagree with my Champions League Matchday 4 predictions. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!